Welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park, under lights for the thrifty Sydney 500, Event 1 of the Repco Supercars Championship. 25 drivers, refreshed, recharged and ready. A brand new supercar era begins at Sydney Motorsport Park, and Waters has got off to a great start. Have a go at forward in the background in the Minis entry. He's made a ripper as well. Feeney tucks into position number 2, Matty Payne up into 3rd position, and Brody sits in behind him. But Waters has made a ripping start on the run into turn 2. Was that Feeney slowing? It was. So we were going to stay with the onboard, but for whatever reason, Feeney's checked up.
It's got a puncture. I reckon it looks like
it's on the skew.
It's down.
I haven't heard anything on team radio.
It's definitely got a ride. The left-hand front is really low. So it's a right left-hand rear. He's got it down the inside this time. Nicely done. But will Matt Payne try to hang on? No, he can't. He just hasn't got the outright grip there now, Neil.
Done everything he can conceivably do to try and hang on to that position, but that was just a great exhibition there by Randall to be able to get through. So this is a big moment here for Cam Waters. Starts his championship with absolute perfection.
To gap the field by almost 17 seconds is an emphatic victory by Cam Waters.
The superb sound of supercars rings out across Western Sydney. And it is a great start off the front, and have a go at the battle off the second row as Mostert tries to cover, and they were 3 wide at the turning point, and that was close as Payne sweeps in there. Waters is just hanging on at the moment from Feeney, and it is on for young and old further down the grid.
It's actually got a fair fire underneath it, so it's not an oil fire.
It's on fire underneath, mate. It's on fire underneath. Get to a marshal post if you can, or jump out.
Could be an oil trail.
If you feel you need
Safety car boards and flags. Safety car boards and flags.
Feeney just jumped him. Feeney just jumped Waters then in the stop. He just got in front. Look at that. This is big time.
You watch here on the replay, guys, it was Will Brown pulled out to pull into his pit bay, I should say, and Waters couldn't get out. It was actually a good stop, but he couldn't get out because Will Brown was there. It allowed Feeney to just get out all on his own and get track position.
So Feeney already gone. There's Brown
and Mostert. And it's going to be tight for this next half a lap for Waters. No, he can't hang on to it down there. He just hasn't got the temperature in the tyres. So here's the thing that I just spoke about. I just saw it on the timing, but I couldn't see it on screen. And that was an easy beat down the inside. So that is the advantage of the younger tyre. But it is 8.5 seconds between Feeney and Waters with 15 laps to go. He's having a look and got him. Nice job. And in fact, Will spotted him, opened the steering, did exactly the same thing. Now the lunge comes down the inside, and there is contact between the two. What a disaster. So Waters has gone down the inside and barreled into the side. And Will Brown could end up being the beneficiary because Waters is redressing. What a catastrophic end to the race with only 4 laps to go. A disaster here. What a mess. More contact now as Brown makes contact with the back of Waters. It's something of a schmozzle at the back end as they all try and figure out who's where. It's a mess.
Oh, he's put him off the road again. Now it's another bump.
He goes down the inside. This is an extraordinary conclusion to this motor race. I think that Feeney might just hang on. What an absolute rip of the race. But he's coming down there. Oh my goodness, it's been a change. Unbelievable finish to that motor race. Okay, there's results. We've got a job to do. We need to focus on it. So Cam Waters gets home by a ridiculously tight margin over Brock Feeney in the end.
Fantastic stuff. Well done, Cam Waters. Well done, Brock Feeney. Well done, Will Brown. That was unforgettable.
Tribal warfare erupted erupted last night, and the rivals are bristling for more of the same today. And what a great jump by Feeney. This might deliver a slightly different outcome at the apex. The squeeze is on. Feeney on the outside, but Waters gets up alongside him now to just slightly push him out of position. Will Brown's moved up into third. Brody's tucked in behind them. Now Brock goes to the outside down at turn 2. So Waters is being swamped by the bulls down there at turn 2 as James Courtney gets out and wide. But believe it or not, Waters has hung on again through those first couple of corners. Look at Brown on the outside, up and over the crest on the run to 4. He might even get to his teammate here. It'll put him on the correct side of the road when they get to the left-hander at 5, and he's hung on. What's gone on there? It's gone out there with part of the fuel kit on it, has it? Yes, yeah. It has. I thought that's what I could see. So Cam Hill. Now the problem is, it's actually got those fingers latch. So he'll get a penalty for that as well. So there's a bit of risk in all that that's got to be managed, clearly. And that was the replay of why Cooper was... Now that's had a pretty dramatic impact on Feeney's race. That's allowed Chaz Mostert to be able to squeeze by. Whoa, okay, now I understand more of it. He gets right onto the back of his Queensland rival here now. He's all over the rear bumper and tries to get traction. He's going to go and try to get around the outside, but can he get a turn? Yes is the answer. Concrete. Unbelievable job. He found some grip out there and closed the sail. And this has been an epic weekend for Cameron Waters, who makes it 3 from 3, Sydney Motorsport Park.
Cam Waters, remarkable performance, absolutely dominant.
Cam Waters doing it in just such brilliant style. He'll take the championship lead down to Melbourne for the next round. Thursday evening racing in the city, and Feeney is absolutely out of there. He screams past the commentary box window and down towards turn 1, and it's Will Brown on the back foot. Cam Hill around the outside, former teammate here, and Jack LeBrock gives him a little room on the inside in that Erebus car.
Reynolds goes wide, Waters gets him. They're still battling, there's a few off in the gravel trap behind. So that's Macaulay Jones and Aaron Cameron. Now they've gone outside the car park. Kai gets run wide by Macaulay Jones and just gets out into the marbles. Oh, there's a bit of damage to the rear of that one.
Got the inside curb, and there's damage as well to Golding. He absolutely whacked the tyre bundle at the apex of 10, and all the hard work for Richie's come undone. Just when things were looking brighter. Mostert now on the other Premier car.
Oh, Mostert went in there really hot. Stanaway was squeezing him. Now he's squeezing to the outside.
Oh, now Stanaway's gone.
Stanaway's gone. That was Cooper Murray. Got to him.
The puncture at Sydney was followed by losing a race by less than a metre. And today he will finally shake off the cobwebs in 2025. And he gets his just desserts. Brock Feeney a winner on Thursday again at the Grand Prix. It's a 888-1-2, the first of the year. We've seen him plenty of times before, and here in particular.
Red Bull Ampol Racing, those cars looking very, very strong.
Power to the road, and it's a lovely jump by both the boys off the front row. Hill's made a very good start. He's made ground, and in fact, I think he's going to lead to 1, and he does. Hill grabs the lead, and that's a big statement. His teammate drops into third. Big jump there. Jack LeBrock into the fence at turn 5. Now, I reckon he got a little bump off the way there. That car's gone in hard. I think Stanaway was involved in it. And his contact was that Ryan Wood on the inside, I think it was.
Yeah.
Ryan Wood, penalty, car number 2. And we've got another car off, and it's David Reynolds in the Tradie Energy entries, bunkered into the gravel.
9.
And safety car is going to be deployed again for the David Reynolds.
Once they go 3 and 4 wide, you know that there's going to be trouble. Thomas Randall makes contact with David Reynolds. He's done very well in the Dunlop Series, but now it is a moment of crowning glory for Cam Hill, who puts together a big win in Melbourne in his supercar. He's got home by half a second over his teammate Cam Hill from Nick Percat, Matt Stone Racing 1 and 2.
tremendous performance for him and thoroughly deserving the victory in race number 5 of the Championship Series. And power to the road for Feeney, who immediately jinxed ever so gently to the right to try and cover his teammate. Perkat makes a very good start. Feeney now goes out to the ideal racing line and yields to Brown. And around goes Payne. Payne's been tagged, Thomas Randall's been tagged as well. Big lock up here for Murray, and he's only just barely recovered, and in fact off also goes James Golding, who unfortunately clobbered the tyres on Thursday. So a couple of people out breaking themselves down there, Murray being one of them. Side by side into the left-hander, Wood on the inside, Kostecki on the outside, and now the safety car has been triggered as well. Chasing to the right-hand side of the road in extremes is Kostecki and Wood. My goodness, bringing up the dust on the inside of the road down there, and it's still going on. Woody's on the outside, and Kostecki's in the Shell V-Power Racing entry.
Nick Perkat on the inside now for turn 1.
There was a big lock-up in the background as well. Nice work, Perkat. He's got pace in the car and using it to his advantage to move up one position to second.
Cooper Murray in the sand trap. This will be another safety car.
That's if he can't get out.
Are you okay, mate? Are you okay?
Here comes Perkat. Now, at this stage, we've still got a green racetrack, so if he can get a move done before there's a safety car trigger, that would be handy. They'll be on the radios informing the drivers.
Safety car boards and flags.
And the safety car's now been called. Vulnerable, and he might get a move made on him, and he has. It's gone the opposite to what we were discussing. It's actually Feeney now that's jumped up into second place, displacing Nick Perkat. Unfortunately for Perkat, I think he's going to get eaten up down the inside here by Kostecki, and he is. He might even battle to fend off a closing Will Davison. What a shame for the Bendix entry. He's back on the inside though. He is not giving up. What a fantastic, valiant effort to be able to hold on. We've got one corner to run in Melbourne for our third supercar race, and it's going to fall to Will Brown. But what about a mighty performance here for Perkat, who refuses to concede. He's not giving up. He's fighting hard to get himself back on the podium, and I think he's been able to do it. What a masterful performance.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done, Nick Perkat. Nice work, Will Brown and his teammate Brock Feeney. Half a second in it at the end of that. All the chocolates go to Will Brown. He did a beautiful job for his very first victory of 2025, and I dare to say there will be some more to come.
You last night.
Really wind them up.
Red flag, the race is suspended.
They're suspending, it's just too wet out there at the moment.
The Larry Perkins Trophy to present to you, and it's arrived just in time. Let's bring it on in, and congratulations, Will Brown, winning for the second time and first driver to go back-to-back as well, and 888 victorious again with the Larry Perkins Trophy. Congratulations to Will Brown, who gets his name on this trophy with Jamie Whincup, Chaz Mostert, and some of the very, very best names in supercars.
A supercar storm erupts in New Zealand, and they are racing to turn 1. Payne holds his ground. He's got the inside run here as Kostecki tries to force the issue. He's extremely wide. Matty tries to close him off, and close him off he does. Into third position goes Waters. Di Pasquale round hill, and around goes Mostert, and that is a disaster for him. Corley's parked off on the verge.
Here we go.
So people are reacting and taking the compulsory stop now. This will also be good news for Mostert with a field compression. Says he got him boxed in there now.
He's got his boxed in, yeah.
And do they do 2 or 4? So we'll need our team in the pit lane to keep us up to speed on all that. Ryan Wood has to thread the needle. He had to deal with the Red Bull car, and Ryan comes out behind LeBrock, and who's missing the rim?
It's a wheel that's been hit by another car. So there's been a tyre come off a car,
stationary.
It's been hit.
We are racing one more time. 22 remain. Down the inside, Wood gets into the side of Thomas Randall and just moves him up and high and wide in the process. So this is the one that you saw that Race Control have noted.
good luck.
Race control, attention all teams. Stewards have imposed a 15-second time penalty to car 38 for a driving infringement.
Okay, so they've just determined that that's the case. So Kostecki does get a penalty. So Wood on LeBron, turn 1.
Nice.
Actually, very good work.
Oh, off the road, fast there. Cooper Murray has gone off, and I'm just trying to pick where that is, because that has gone off the road. That's about 100 metres away from anywhere.
He's had a run down the inside. James is battling him. They've just interlocked, and it shot him to the outside. He resisted all the pressure when he jumped off the line from pole position from Brodie Kostecki. They got their stop effected well, and then in the second phase of the race, he's done something spectacular. New Zealand, how is this for a story? Matt Payne in position number 1, Ryan Wood in position number 3. A dominant podium for the Kiwis. We've got Payne, Waters, Wood, De Pasquale, Kostecki, Brown, Hill, remembering that Kostecki and Hill have got penalties to come.
Matt Payne, it's just something about the Kiwis. When they get to race at home, they go to another level, and that is a special day in the life of Matthew Payne.
Off they go from the line. Check out the run from Feeney down the inside. He shoves it up into second. Mostert's got the whole shot though as they go down into turn 1. And have a look at Waters trying to wind his way round the outside, back in the pack ever so slightly. Will has got his hands full, and there's an absolute evidence of it down there at turn 11.
It's Feeney. He was battling to stay on the road then. He was battling to stay on the road. He turned it into turn 11, and the whole car escaped wide, and he had no control of the car.
But so does those who are the tyre caressers. Those that just love those tyres really gently and just very kind to them throughout. That's what you've got to do to try and make the things live and not ask too much of any of the loaded corners of the car too soon.
Have a look at the lap times. So his fastest lap is a 28.63. The last lap was a 31.6. So 3 seconds slower.
Here we go. Here we go. Down the inside, forces the issue at turn 5, and Kostecki to the lead. You could sense it coming, and he just demanded that he was going through there. Make way.
It's a strange angle.
That's an awkward angle, terrible angle.
What happened there? Was there anything behind?
I'm not sure. It might have been other
tyres out.
Yeah.
Tyres out. Yeah.
We're going to have to merge behind this one. Go.
They've moved that cone. See how that cone was a drama before? That cone's been pushed down further.
I was surprised when I saw it earlier. It was super awkward. Mostert sweating on the back of Kostecki, peels off into his bay.
They're in very close proximity.
It's an awkward angle for Mostert. That's an awkward angle.
It's going to be awkward for Kostecki to get back out too, I think. So it's getting close there in McDonald, and they've got him.
Yeah.
Mostert now down the inside. Mostert has just emerged. He's lobbed at the turn 4 and fired himself down the inside. So he must have got a run off the turn 2, turn 3 curb.
Here we go.
Here we go. And he's done the exact same pass.
Did he run off?
Oh, he's off the road. And now Mostert back down the inside of 5. This is great stuff. And he's put him into the paddock on the way out of 5. That's Will Davison going by Feeney. So it took a long time to get back and be able to get him to a position. It took 4 or 5 laps basically, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, big slide, massive slide.
Hugely chasing that thing. It's all crossed up in a couple of awkward angles, in a couple of awkward places, and he's still holding on to it. In fact, he's now run off the edge of the road down there at 4.
And there's Matt Payne.
The rocks, and Matt is right in the middle of this now as well.
So the Red Bull Ampol Racing Camaro, it's over, isn't it?
Exit speed out of turn 11 was impressive. He's going to get this done before they even end up with their feet on the brake pedal. Across the two of them, so down the inside, done. Beautiful work.
There's the Kiwis in the crowd there. Yeah, they're elated.
He had a tough year in 2024 at this venue, Chaz Mostert, and as he rounds it out of turn 14 for the final time, he's turned it around for the second race in New Zealand in 2025, and Chaz Mostert gets the job done at Taupo. came home with a chunk in hand over Will Davis and Brodie Kostecki. Nice work for the Shell V-Power Racing team and Jet Couriers.
But it's Chaz Mostert back on top in New Zealand. Looking forward to doing it all again tomorrow.
It's a great start off the front row together for Di Pasquale and for Kostecki. Anton tries to go around the outside, but he's run wide. He's critically run wide. He'll drop a bunch of spots on a cold tyre, and it's going to pop back in about 6th or 7th. And that is a disaster and trouble here also, unfortunately, for car number 26. What a horror story there for Kai Allen after qualifying so well.
Unbelievable, and young Ryan Wood's putting plenty of pressure on. We knew that he was going to be aggressive, but he has made it work in the opening stanza. He goes from the inside there at position 3, he lines up in behind Kostecki, and he knows what track position is like. Now he's almost alongside. He's going to run down the outside at turn 9. He's going to run him wide. He has. He's pushed him into the grass. He turns back. He's going to lead this race, but on the inside, Cam Hill grabs them both.
As they continue to work on the run towards the right-hander at 4, and he's got his nose up in there. He pushes and shoves. There's rocks and rubber flying everywhere, and Payne is now the new leader. Hill displaced, and now Randall gets his elbows into the game, and he might be into position 2.
Watch this. He parks it on the right just slightly, and then he'll try to get down the inside in the middle of the corner here. And he does it easily there. There's the difference in the tyres.
It's Chaz Mostert who's got a 10-lap overlap with tyres here on Will Brown. Makes a pretty easy move down the inside and also moves up. And this should be a move. Big gap down the inside. Mostert's got it sitting up on the curve on the inside. He should be able to hang on to that down at turn 12 in the brake approach. And he's got it bumper margin at the moment over Heimgartner, and that'll move him up into position number 5. It's about 13 k's difference, and here we go. Crisscross at turn 1, and he's done it with relative ease. There's not even a touch between them. You were talking up Armageddon. And New Zealanders loved every millimetre of this drive by young Matt Payne, who wins the Jason Richards Trophy and picks up his 2nd victory at Taupo this weekend. Payne over hill, in the end just a whisker over 3 seconds. Chaz Mostert gets onto the podium again.
And it has been this young Kiwis weekend. Fantastic performance from Penrite Racing. Congratulations, Matt Payne. Cannot wait for the next event in Tasmania.
Very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Launceston, Tasmania, event 4, the Repco Supercars Championship, Snowy River Caravans Tasmania Super 440. Can Thomas Randall add his name to the list as we get set to go racing in Tasmania? And jumping away from the line, both of the boys had a bit of wheel spin. Brock immediately closes off the gap to make sure no Marauder gets down the inside, and he holds sway in 2nd position with Brown arguing the case, who also drops back into 3rd. Waters in behind him, glanced the fence, but Randall has got a boomer of a start and fresh air on the run to turn 2. 3.
Beautiful, wasn't it, Neil? Hardly any wheel spin, and he didn't even have to block. Has he run wide? Oh my God, he only just got away with that. He didn't need to block.
And he's had a big lunge down the inside, and we're right with him side by side. And he's looking for the benefit of the side draft, and he might actually execute that now. He is close enough to be able to get this done, and how is that for a slingshot?
It's got it. There's got to be a drama there with Will Brown's stop. Had to be a drama there by plenty, because he's 100 metres behind.
It becomes career victory number 14 for Brock Feeney, and the 2nd for him in 2025, and he's done that with ease. Congratulations to Brock Feeney. He gets home by a whopping 8 seconds. You don't see those margins terribly often in sprint racing.
That is career win number 27 for that team at this venue. This is Tassie territory for Triple A.
Very even start, and Feeney commands the lead into turn 1 from Randall. Macaulay's up on the outside, trying to argue hard with Goldie for that third spot at the moment. They'll be side by side on cold tyres through 3. Hard to take your eyes away from this. This is awesome, Chad.
And the more that they battle on the racetrack, the more this could be helping Cam Waters. If they take 2 tyres, and they might grab all of these guys on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same thing. Well done, Chad. Because if he pops out, he could be leading this race. This is on. Here's Perkins, the leader, over the hill. Here comes Waters. Does he get by? He does, but he pops into effectively equal second. He won't be able to stay on the right-hand side, and Randall, his teammate, looks after him.
What a race we've got unfolding this afternoon as we see Randall bringing out the dust and dirt on the outside. He's got Jones all over him, and they're all assaulting Waters on a cold tyre. He's underneath him, and they make side-to-side contact, and he grabs him to cross the line clear of car number 10.
And he makes it 2 from 2 so far in Tassie for a strong performance. So top 10 covered by 12 seconds in the end. Well done to Brock Feeney and Red Bull for cleaning that one up.
Take nothing away from Brock Feeney. For the 3rd time in his career, he leads the Repco Supercars Championship. A special day with 2 wins and the fastest laps to go with it.
As the field gets away and a bit of contact off the line, and have a go at the start for the Premier Hire boys. Both of them in the mix here. We've got trouble. Di Pasquale in the gravel at turn 2. Golding snatches the lead.
Oh, here we go again. So straight away, Will Davison now has turned Brock around.
It'll be very small for this round. Monstrous moment on the exit of turn 3. It involves Fullwood. And which of the 2 Shell V-Power racing cars is that? All right, so while the team were reporting from the pit lane, we've got a much better understanding of what's going on here. He's having a look, releases the brake pedal. He's halfway down the car, now done. So that's a nice move. Contact between Reynolds and Randall.
This is going to be a nail-biter. If Payne wins this thing, he will bring the house down. Feeney is on the charge down the back straight. What a nail-biting supercar race. It's a lucky 13 for Payne at the moment. Into the final corner. He might get this. Feeney tries to duck underneath him, and this will be the win of all miracle time in supercars if Payne can get it, and he gets it by a bumper bar. That is a spectacular drive, Matt Payne.
Well done to the top 3. Well done to all of those that have made their way into the top 10.
Just gone down as another cracker in season 2025.
Resumes in Western Australia. Can Mostert convert for his 2nd race victory this year? His teammates give him a proper ragging on the run down towards turn 1. Mostert on the inside, they're bumping mirrors, and Feeney's nudging away in the background in position number 3. Kostecki's in behind him, but they pop out the other side with Chaz in control over the top of the jump.
This is definitely the closest he's been. He might have a little look down here. He does have a little look. Does he get it down there enough? 2 teammates, they don't bump. Mostert's now in a precarious spot on the outside. Ryan Wood, very aggressive. If he can hold this spot, it's dirty on the inside, but he does. Here we go.
We'll want to track in all directions, so watch this rejoin. It's really critical down there at the exit of turn 1. And he's going to be all over him, so Woody and Feeney battling big time down here.
Really slow on the front right on Mostert there. When they went to the rear tyre, the guys on the left side were on and done and finished, and the guys on the right were only starting.
Chaz is going to be able to sneak by here, I should think. And here it is in evidence, because it's just, you described it before, Mark, it's not just any one tyre, it's just all-round grip. Yeah.
He got a pole earlier today, and now Ryan Wood is a supercar race winner in Western Australia.
And these are the final results after 50 exciting laps. It ran green throughout. Ryan Wood, what a battle it was inside 1 second. Will Brown, gee, it would have been very interesting had Chaz Mostert not had the slow stop. How would that have all played out? I guess we'll never know. A great day in the career of Ryan Wood.
Ryan Wood, a first-time winner earlier on, off the pole now. And if he can get this all together, perfection awaits, but he's been swamped by Cam Waters. Waters has got the lead, and he's being challenged, a huge challenge around the outside by Matt Payne. So Woody, I think, is going to drop back into third spot here. He'll argue the case, but he has dropped back into third spot.
So here we go, bang, down the inside comes Mostert. Straight down the inside of Kai Allen. Escorts him just out to that wide section there, but he'll be able to stay on the inside and make that move. Does he get the side draft? Does he get it up there far enough to be able to take effect? He's not. He's just balked him over there a little bit, Cam Waters, but he's down there far enough, deep enough. Does he get it stopped? He does, and he comes off there very nicely. Ryan Walkinshaw very animated. But here comes Cam Waters. It's not over and out. I thought it was done. That was a very nice response. Great crisscross.
Here we go again, and he's going to have a look down the inside. He's got it done earlier this time. It wasn't on exit, it was in entry. Oh no!
The leader! Off the road, the leader. A big mistake down at turn 6. That's a massive mistake for Ryan Wood. Oh, he's broken that left rib on the way down to Cole.
Yeah.
That was broken halfway down the hill. That's fast. That's almost 210, 220k. Have a look at that.
This is on here at the moment, this battle between Mostert and Waters, and Cam's just run it wide over the top of the curb and exposes himself, and that allows Chaz to get down the inside and give him some grief. But the afternoon belongs to this young man, so Brock Feeney has done a strong job today.
And what a race that was for Red Bull Ampol Racing Team. Pulled the Swifty with the undercut, got themselves to the front. The championship leader extends the championship lead, but it was hard luck. Ryan Wood, good luck, Brock Feeney.
What a rocket start for Brock. He puts the car exactly where he wants to on the run into turn 1. Waters is hanging on in second. We've got Payne up on the outside, and Will Brown's mixing it in there in 4th position and trying to force the issue.
And he's
got the makings of it, but Ryan Wood might get 2 for 1 here.
No.
3 wide when they get down towards turn 1, and Woody's got 2 in the grass, and he's got a bit of a touch-up going with Golding, who gets stuck into the side of the reigning champion, and this could end up poorly by the time they get on the squeeze here at turn 2. Silcamp, bang! The Red Bull car smashes over the top of the curb. That was wild. So Woody on Waters now moves him up into position number 3. Cleanly done into the braking area down here at turn 7.
As you can see, they're next to each other.
And that puts
on the angle.
Puts him on the angle, and that's a bit awkward. Done and dusted, out he goes. Followed there by Will, so that was a slightly awkward arrival, and there's Golding in the background. Meantime, Brock continues to cruise around over Matty Payne with a 20-second margin.
Golding got him. He's got him. So he hasn't got Waters, but he definitely got Will Brown.
Go.
So there's our race leader, there's the margin. So that's what matters there in the gap between 1st and 2nd. So that gives you a clean understanding of this battle. And then what Mark's referring to here in the intensity between Waters and Golding. Oh, problem here for Cooper Murray. This might change the game slightly.
I see you, don't worry.
This has got him out of jail, and not only is he getting the fuel that he needs, he's completing this pit stop, and it's half the time you lose doing the pit stop under full course yellow. He now is right back in the game.
And the reports from Cooper Murray in the Vibe entry is that the engine just seized.
Oh, wow, that's an unusual thing to hear. So he's going to drop into second here.
Second here?
Yeah, so this is the
massive game.
Yeah, so
those fresher tyres already put to effect.
James Courtney was nudging him all the way through turn 6. Have a go at Waters in the background here. He's underneath him as well, and he probably gets an advantage out of this. Woody's in a bad spot on the outside. James has got the slide on. He runs wide. Cam Waters down the inside. James ducks to the right-hand side of the road. He almost jumped into the pit lane. He crosses back to the wide line. It's on down here, and Wood drops a bunch of spots in the process. They're side by side, and there's going to be nothing in this. Can he hold on? Ryan Wood, he's wide. They're both the road. What a disaster for both those guys. But Sunday in Perth belongs to Brock Feeney, and what a fantastic performance to wrap up by the tiniest margin from Matt Payne, and take a bow. James Courtney.
How do they finish? Like this. Another squeaker between Feeney and Payne. This time it works out the way of the championship leader. From the championship leader, he carries the orange numbers away from this venue and doing a fantastic job.
Let's get race 17 started at the top end, and it's an even blast off the front row of the grid, and Feeney's just got a tiny margin at the moment over Waters, who drops in behind, closes the gap. Forward's looking to force the issue down the inside as well, and coming up around the outside is Payne. Can he try and do something about second place? No, he gets shut down in the process. It's Feeney, it's Waters, it's Payne, and we've got a car heavily into the wall at the back of the pack.
On the outside there with Di Pasquale.
So Brock's got control of the field. And the great risk in Darwin is that people fire up in the background before they get the cue. And if you pass before you get to that line, there's trouble. We've got a problem. In the background, someone has fired into the wall. It's exactly what I was just talking about. So we've got LeBrock in the wall down here.
I'm going to jump out of the way because I want to see what Waters do. Oh, wow, this is going to be game on. Let's time it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at this. They're going for fronts on Waters' car. This is going to be cool. Game on.
Well, sat still a lot longer in that process and have given some margin here. Here comes Payne. Watch this. He's made a big, big gain. That undercut's really delivered for him, and he's within striking distance. This could be a game change. Does the slipstream give him some advantage here? We'll ride with him in that process and think about what this might look like. Down, down, deeper and deeper into turn one. He's just under the rear guard, but he gets some space given to him by Payne, who's also on the greyer side of the road, and that's P2 effectively for Cam Waters. Brock Feeney once again puts a perfect drive together and maximum points in the first race in Darwin.
Brock Feeney is just continuing with that amazing form. Well done to him. Cam Waters picks up some points with the fastest lap of the race today inside the top three, and Matt Payne. So Brock Feeney, it's his to lose, it seems, up here. The better Darwin Triple Crown.
The drag race commences, and Feeney's done it again as he pulls second gear, and he's got a car length on Di Pasquale as they all duck and dive to try and find cover on the run down to one. Their line astern in the first four positions. It's Feeney, it's Di Pasquale, it's Allen, and then it's Waters. Heimgartner is on the outside, too wide and on the grey. So here's what happened. Oh, it's all happening. So Randall was into Courtney, so it's Skittles in Darwin turn 6 as Waters is defending vigorously down here into turn 1, and he's running wide under pressure as well. My goodness me, we're seeing it all unfold at the back end, and we've gone yellow out there.
Safety car. Speed limiters activated.
So it's been a perfect score so far for Brock Feeney. So far this weekend, he has had 2 pole positions and he has had 2 race victories.
When Brock Feeney, the race winner today. End of the day, it's 1.1 seconds, but really these margins that you're seeing are very much skewed because of the late race BP safety car. Well done, Brock Feeney. It's your day today here at the Valley.
The better Darwin Triple Crown win is potentially underway here for Brock Feeney if he can get a good start. And he manages to close off from LeBrock. So that's one of the first important boxes for him ticked as Mostert now departs the lane as well. So he's gone back out into the field. So a win awaits for this bloke if he can put it all together. And now he's got 200 Ks to do it as Macaulay Jones gets pushed well wide down there on the exit of turn 1 and has all 4 in the grass and the dirt. Now look at Payne here making a run down the inside, and he's going to get him in this process too. So that undercut that was done on lap 14 for Matt Payne has worked. Now the undercut has given him track position, but he doesn't have the grip to fight at the moment. And down the inside with relative ease, Feeney's able to make a decent pass on him there. Matt doesn't put up too much resistance, not a lot of point there because he's going to lose that battle.
Go, go, go.
And at Penrite, and there is Matt Payne in the background, they'd have been hoping for a bobble then, for a little mishit with a gun or a wheel not going on cleanly or something awkward in the fuel delivery. But it has resulted in this margin. We've got a problem here for Waters, and there's an enormous amount of damage on this thing.
And that's the left rear. That's the tyre. That's the wheel, remember?
Yep.
But GT was saying he thought it didn't sound like it was completely rattled on.
And it's popped the left rear off on the exit of turn 7, pitched him all over the road here as he's tried to catch it. Lucky didn't get caught by somebody else and centre punched by the traffic going by there. It has been an extraordinary weekend for Brock Feeney. Pole for race 17, pole for race 18, pole for race 19, and he's converted each of those pole positions to 3 extraordinary wins today.
Brock Feeney getting the Triple Crown and winning it in style, the first to ever win 3 races here in the weekend. But Brock Feeney extending the championship lead out to 183 points. He's in the box seat for the Repco Sprint Cup.
We are racing in Townsville and the drag race commences, and it looks like it is very, very even. There is nothing between the 2 Mustangs as they pull gears through turn 1. Brodie pops out the other side and they close down to make sure that nobody can sneak down the inside, the dirty side of the road. Davison wants to argue the case, and he's run very high and wide down there, but he manages to protect. Look at the congestion back in the pack and watch them through that kink between 2 and 3. That is a hot spot on this racetrack.
Down the inside, nice move, Anton Di Pasquale. Little bump at the end there with Will. He was half out of control in the last part of the stop, wasn't he?
And he actually needed the other car
to get it to the corner.
He did. Out of the final corner. And a new name gets added to the winners list in Townsville.
Well done, boys. Fantastic effort.
Brodie Kostecki gets the job done, and a beautiful drive, and he is wrapped with that one.
Brodie Kostecki, 45 minutes and counting, getting the job done for his new team. First win in that operation, converting the pole. Cam Waters not too far down the road behind him. Well done, Brodie. That was a hard-earned victory here in the sunshine.
And it's a great jump on the outside by Matty Payne. He grabs the gear, and it's strong enough to be able to close down and command the field on the run to turn 2. It's a great start by Payne. It gives himself maximum opportunity to be able to convert with that ripping start. Now they're 2 wide, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide. There's contact. Murray gets into side of one of the Red Bull races there. There's the typical congestion halfway between 2 and 3. And under assault is Reynolds. He's got LeBrock up on the outside of him. Brock Feeney's in there as well, and Jack is flying.
Nice job. Beautiful start there by Matt Payne. The original jump was great by David Reynolds, and now we've got contact. One of the Premier cars is in the fence coming out of turn 3. Ryan Wood was involved there somewhere. It's Golding who's parked, and there's been contact, heavy contact, and the safety car will be deployed. And how's the luck for Jackson Evans? He's been caught in this thing again. So this is Randall now. On the outside, Jackson Evans, and that was the inside. So that's what we picked up before. So Cam Waters into Randall, into Jackson Evans, and chaos unfolds. Golding involved also.
But what about Cam Waters surviving this? Like going through a 360. Oh my goodness, that was actually a much bigger shunt than I thought. Opportunistic move down the inside here by Feeney. I think he's going to force this issue and it'll work for him. There's not much space on the exit here, but they manage it very well between them. And he gets out the other side. He's got the primary line when they get to turn 3. So Feeney now moves it up into 3rd position, and he might drag James Courtney with him. Will get down the inside. And the problem for Will is he's got to try and get to the right.
Another car that's got smoke coming out of it also.
Courtney.
That's Courtney.
Courtney's got big damage here. Something going on the left-hand side, so it's all erupting in Townsville. Davison in trouble. Courtney in trouble, and we've got another Shell V-Power car here pointing in the wrong direction. I presume it's Will.
He's trying to get in the pit lane. He's got hit.
Did he get a whack? Because that was I was trying to stumble my way to explaining it, that he's on the wrong side of the road. He's got to cross the road to get to the pit lane entry. Feeney down the inside for position number 2 now. clip him down at turn 11 if he can get a decent exit out of 8, 9, 10. There we go. And he's done it. In fact, he got it done earlier than I thought. Half race distance has been run and done. And now Mostert having a think about getting it done down the inside. And he might actually get this done under brakes into turn 2. Brodie gave him a ton of room, saw him coming, and just opened the steering down there and allowed it to happen relatively easily. He's a bit vulnerable here. Let's see whether he gets chased, and he does. Mostert down the inside, and he has managed to pull it up. Matt tries to sneak back in underneath him, but puts him on the wrong side of the road when they get to the final corner. There's not a lot of space here. Payne tries to keep him down tight. That didn't really work. And that little extra bobble and the reset of the throttle and dropping back in behind was what closed off that deal for Mostert. Brown's 5 seconds. And as he makes his way to the checkered flag, Brock Feeney is back in the winner's circle one more time.
Brock Feeney doing a beautiful job today. Fair gap up the road towards Matt Payne and Chaz Mostert. And now Brock Feeney has one hand on that beautiful Repco Sprint Cup trophy. And he is doing a wonderful job.
Supercar thunder erupts. And Feeney's done a nice job of getting all that grunt to the road, but it's a very, very even drag race, and they are going to bump mirrors as they pluck gears all the way down the front straight. And it's the same deal for those on road 2. This is going to be tight. There's millimetres in it between the blokes on the front row of the grid, and there's push and shove as you'd fully expect back in the pack. But Feeney gets it out the other side, and Di Pasquale might grab a spot here as well. In the DeWalt car, he moves it up into second. As we watch Mostert now potentially making another move stick. Yeah, no, maybe, eventually. So, nice work here. Feeney down the inside, turn 11, and done it pretty easily. As Will Brown gets down the inside for position number 2 here. A little touch up on the run into turn 3 where the road narrows and there's that awkward bump off the edge of the curve. Could be enough for you to eat the fence. But he's now got much better exit coming out of turn 8, so he'll threaten by the time they get down to the braking area here at turn 11. He's got the car on the shallow side of the road and greases on by Cam Waters, and that moves him up onto the podium in position number 3. Heading towards the checkered flag, and for the second day in succession, Brock Feeney owns Townsville.
So it's Feeney, Brown and Mostert, and that is a commanding performance. Absolute perfection from Brock Feeney up here in the Townsville sunshine, sealed with a skid.
This is our 8th event of the Repco Supercars Championship, the Century Batteries Ipswich Super 440. And after an absence of 6 years, we are back at Queensland Raceway. As we launch into action, and it's a great job off the line by Feeney. Grabs second gear and he grabs the lead on the run into 1. It's push and shove the third at the moment with Woody down the inside. Di Pasquale is up high and wide. It'll be slippery out there. You've got to stay away from those curves. But Feeney has blasted into the distance at turn 2.
And on the racing line on the outside, Will Brown had a massive amount of wheel spin. Now, Feeney almost went off then. Feeney almost went off the road, and that's why Brown's alongside him.
The squeeze is on into the braking area, and that was a costly moment for him after a ripping start through 1. But he was too hot and heavy into turn 2, and it was slippery out there. It's the fringes of the racetrack that have got to be managed. Battle is on here. Look at Wood down the inside, and he's got Kai Allen trying to get into this, and in fact they've got past. So nice work. How's this? Oh, you do not want to have 2 in the dirt down there, and so he returns serve, Kai Allen. Will Brown gets a little bit of hip and shoulder in the process and drops it down into 4th position. There's a huge off down here at turn 6 with David Reynolds all locked up. I just looked up and saw him spearing down there, and he's well buried. That could trigger the safety car. And we've got Mostert in the weeds as well.
Oh, it's oil. It's oil. It's oil all down the circuit there. That's
yes.
what it is. Yeah.
So Feeney, Allen, Wood, that's going to be our podium. Will Brown's probably slightly frustrated by all of that because, you know, this is a car that started on the front row of the grid. Strategy play was to stick 4 tyres on it, and then fate intervenes and ruins that party.
Mate. Awesome work. Perfect drive. Fastest lap points as well.
Didn't have to say a word. So congratulations, Brock Feeney, home by a tiny margin. Didn't matter in the end because it was the safety car that controlled that from Kai Allen, from Ryan Wood. That is our podium.
Is that Brock Feeney won the race, and with a huge grin on his face, he's done enough to wrap up the Repco Sprint Cup. Well done to him. He's just punched his ticket through to the first ever run at the finals.
Does this scramble the status quo? We're going to find out in 39 laps, and Feeney once again brains him off the line. Woody went nowhere, and he's in strife, and he's dropped back into third, so we've got Brown up the spot already into turn number 1, and Feeney's bolted down the road and off, and a big kerfuffle down here at 1. Cars everywhere. We've got LeBrock, we've got Aaron Cameron, we've got Cam Hill round the outside. We've also got Jackson Evans, of all people, more damage on that car. This will trigger the safety car. And there was nose-to-tail contact
with Cooper Murray and Aaron Cameron. That's how it started on the inside.
Well, I've seen a lot of calls in the years over a start call like this one, and this is as close as I've ever seen it. Come on, a little journey and have a look. Here's the light. When the light goes out, yes, he's behind the white line, but the car cannot be moving a millimetre. Watch the light and watch his tyre at the same time. Let's go. We've slowed this right up. Watch, there it's rolling, and the light went out. He maybe moved that much, but I've got to say, well done to the stewards there. I'll show you again. Put that light on, Mal. Watch the light. Watch his wheel. Oh, just rolling, bang. There you go. They're right.
Wow, gee whiz, that's, we're talking about the tiniest of margins. Well done, Mark Larkham and the team. That's a frame-by-frame story, that one.
All right, watch this. He's going to grab this tyre on the way past. Bang, grabs the tyre nice and smooth. They need a sub-7 seconds tyre stop here. Now the extra 5. Oh, this hurts. Wow, I feel a pain.
Yeah, nothing worse than sitting there serving a penalty. Now, he will have the eyes on. He will thrash this thing for the last 15 laps of the race. Blue flag indicates there's some traffic coming behind. Now, there's a big offset in the tyres between them. So remember, Anton came in lap 13, and he's about to be done. And you've got Wood, who came in on lap 22. So they both changed 4 tyres. One of them did it a lot earlier than the other. And for the first time since the Grand Prix in Melbourne, Will Brown is victorious again in the Supercars Championship and banks 80 points plus another 5 for the fastest lap.
Yeah, that was good.
Here's the confirmation of the provisional results for you. Brown from Feeney. Third driver on the podium will be Ryan Wood.
And an epic day for the Red Bull Lamport Racing team here at their home track.
And the lights flick. 600 horsepower to the road, and again Feeney's got it wide as he plucks second gear and roars down into turn 1. And have a look at Brown trying to force the issue on the inside. Wood stays in second position. Tyres are cold as they throw 1.5 tonnes into turns 1 and 2. Bates is off to a reasonable start. Trying to make his way on the outside here is Reynolds, and that's hard yards. And somebody's well out there in the weeds. It could be Payne, who's out there farming at the moment. That he's muscling down the inside, and he's been able to displace Payne, but he's got Cooper Murray on the inside, 3 wide. It's game on the exit of the final corner, and now we've got rain. We've got rain out there on this racetrack, so if you want supercar action, just add water.
This is going to be wild because it's raining heavily there at turn 1 and turn 2. I don't think it's made its way down to turn 3, down the other end, down the northern end of the racetrack. It's coming from the southeast. So you've got to just be really careful to understand how wet, how dry it is, and what the grip level is at either end of this place. Now, I'll tell you where it's going to be wild now is as you come from the north, driving back towards the south, this turn 4, turn 5 area, it's going to be out of control. There'll be cars off the road everywhere, Neil.
Imagine the challenge. Let's go to Garth for a quick update.
Yeah, so the intensity, very similar to what we saw yesterday in qualifying when it caught everyone out. So not a lot of teams in pit lane yet with a wet tyre, but the intensity doesn't look like this front's going to hang around for long, but it's getting to the point where wets are going to be faster than slicks.
1 minute 14, we talked about pre-race, Garth, and we looked at the Century Batteries tech facts. But what an awkward set of circumstances. You probably didn't even have the slick tyres fully up to temperate pressure. Did you see Di Pasquale's got the thing on the wriggle as he changes gears down the front straight? So you're plucking gears with 600 horsepower on a Dunlop slick tyre, and it wants to rotate in a straight line. And neither is going to give 1 millimetre. You'll be going the long way if you want to go round the outside, is the suggestion and the implication here from Kostecki, whose tyres are not up to temp or pressure. Now Brown squeezes down the inside and he'll choke off his oxygen on the other side, and finally clears him after a bit of vigour. Oh, we've got a problem here for Cam Crick, and this, with it buried, could well be a safety car. So the Dormer entry is well beached at the moment, and that is awkward. He's down at turn 6.
Safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags.
As it turned out, couldn't get that wheel back on and get him out in front. So that was the stop. You saw Chaz resting against the back of Anton Di Pasquale, and that little glitch, he ends up going back out behind him again. Just have a look at a replay here. Just watch the rear wheels. This is Will Brown.
A lot of wheel spin there, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, how's this? Bates down the inside. Oh, and a big contact there with Hill. And more contact feeds him off to the side of the road. Hip and shoulder on that one was pretty heavy duty.
That was wild. So I reckon there might have been something else go on there, because Cam Hill was so aggressive, and now Percat has given him a hit and he's escorted him off. So Percat down the inside at turn 2, and Zach Bates on debut ends up out in the weeds. And this is Feeney now up the inside of Kai Allen. He knows he's got to get this done quickly. He doesn't want to be parked in behind and have those tyres, the front tyres especially, get hot. And there's heaps of team radio. It's lit up.
Yeah, there's some vigour and some anger out there at the moment. Feeney on the attack. He's in third position. He's cleared Andre Heimgartner. Kai Allen hustling that thing, trying to keep him at bay. He's on the slide on the exit of turn 4. Does he have a dive down here? Braking strength has been the real thing that's been the differentiator for car number 88, and he's used it to great effect down there. Heimgartner, though, could capitalise out of this as well. Feeney makes some ground.
Man, a big spin, turn around there for Will Brown. Do they all miss him? Do they all miss him? Yes, they do. Well done.
That's not easy to negotiate in that cloud. So that's a bad deal there.
He would have got hit there. Yeah.
Is that Woody? Woody?
Yeah, Ryan Wood.
Yeah, nice shot, Woody.
You don't do that by yourself in that spot, especially a guy like Will Brown.
There's a bit more spite out there today, a bit more frustration. There's a bit more hand-to-hand combat. Let's have a look on the replay and see if we can unpack what's gone down here. So down into turn 3, bang, heavy contact. So Ryan's going to get done for that for sure. Now they duel it out again down at turn 4. And the crisscross is on one more time. Does he stay in there? No, he thought about it. And Cam feathered the throttle for just a moment. That could have ended up in car 88. Mostert's got 5 seconds, remember, and he'll be aware of it, and he lets him slide by. So Heimgartner will know that. Tony Woodward would have advised him on the radio, but now the aim of the game here for Heimgartner is to try and keep Payne at bay, and he's making a lunge down the outside, switches to the inside for turn 6, tries to nudge the Mustang up the inside, grind, sparks fly down there, and Payne will pop out the other side as the Q tries to find a way through. Kostecki is next in that process. And Brodie comes down the inside as well. And he's got the thing sideways at turn 1 across the curb. Anton's tucked in behind Heimgartner now. This is wild stuff.
And today, Brock Feeney does the job and recovers to take victory in Queensland Raceway.
Great reaction.
Repco Sprint Cup champion, Brock Feeney. And an appreciative Supercars crowd here this afternoon. Witnessed something a bit special in the pace that we've seen for him, both in qualifying and also in the race.
It's Brock Feeney celebrating that Repco Sprint Cup in style. Getting the treble here again. Cam Waters and Kai Allen, unlikely podium getters. And Brock's not going to let his nan get away without a little moment with the champagne. That's fantastic. Bottoms up. Not bad.
The very first of the Enduros at the bend, and we get underway. Whincup leaps off the line, finds the bite point on the clutch, pulls a gear and roars down towards turn number 1. McLeod covers the middle of the road, but look at Moffat down the inside. James has made a very strong start. The Tickford cars are side by side as they battle into the first turn. And in fact, McLeod had a fair nibble at Whincup coming into turn 1. Jamie's got his margin out to 0.8 of a second. As now the cars will start to feel just that little bit more secure beneath the drivers.
We haven't reported on this one. Tim Slade's made good ground. He's up 4 spots and he's completely stayed out of trouble. So he's hooked in there behind Cooper Murray. And as we see, nice pass made there by Hazelwood.
Viewpoint from the rear end of the lead car here. So he's thinking about it. Pulls to the inside. This time it's got some authority. And Hazelwood now makes a very nice, clean manoeuvre down the inside. And in fact, Whincup just flagged that he didn't want any part of that straight away. Left a ton of room down there, not involved in any argument.
I think it's actually a little bit of a ride height increase at the rear of the car. Doesn't look like that fuel rate is actually gauged properly.
He recoupled.
Yeah.
He actually had it out and he's shaking his head. I'm not sure that it's actually delivering.
There. Now they'll have to work out how much fuel actually went in. That did not engage properly.
We've talked about this a lot. Mark Larkham can add.
Yeah, we'll try and get a read on that, Neil, in a sec. There's clearly, I mean, you can look at the guys' faces, there's confusion about how much fuel did get in that car. The other thing they were doing, you saw there, well, they've picked up the tool now, but they were unwinding spring on the car, unwinding spring. So taking, as you say, gave you a little bit of ride height out, a little bit of preload out to soften the rear of the car, it looks like, looking for a little bit of traction.
That was a textbook stop for the Shell V-Power racing team. And off and out in a clear lane there and departs once more. So that looked like a pretty handy stop for those folks. So we've now got Murray, Pye, D'Alberto, 1, 2, 3. Then Hazelwood is going to rejoin here in 4th position.
A significant change here, and that's Frosty down the inside. He's done a nice job. Tander also will make a nice move and capitalise on what Frosty did with Cortada. Now, Frosty just moves it over just a little bit, just to disincentivise Tander trying to get down there, but Tander also makes that move. This is the run into the final corner. And got pretty close there. Ended up forcing Aaron off into the dirt on the outside.
And as the reigning Bathurst champion, Brodie is once again the master of endurance racing as a winner at the Bend.
Kostecki and Hazelwood once again untouchable in the Enduros. Finally broke the will of Cam Waters. Brodie Kostecki, he just loves the Enduros. Well done to him.
Savor the ultimate life-changing victory. Let's go racing at Mount Panorama. And what a start here for Hazelwood. Hazelwood started blind at a turn 1. Quickly dropping into 2nd position was Winterbottom. And that was a classic start from the pole man. Up into 3rd place. This is not resolved at the moment. The teammates are side by side. So Coulthard battling Ojeda, and right behind them, Cooper Murray wants to spoil their party.
He certainly does. Cooper Murray's very aggressive in behind Jaden Ojeda. What a great start there by Todd Hazelwood.
So here's the undercut.
Yep. So
not an undercut on the racetrack, but getting them out in front in the pit lane.
And now straight down the inside, here's Brown.
Got him.
Yeah, easy in the end. But that's a messy little altercation with Ryan Wood and Job Stewart back in behind there, because at this point, Ryan Wood's got real pace on him, and for both of them, they don't need to get involved in a battle because you lose 3 or 4 seconds straight away. Down the inside, that's a bold move. Haven't seen that move put on today yet.
Oh, trouble at the top of the hill.
This will be
at the elbow.
car.
We've got a shell car in the wall. And D'Alberto, unfortunately for Tony D'Alberto, and his 10th outing for Dick Johnson Racing, as something's gone amiss.
There was another car behind, but I don't know whether he got hit or not. I reckon he might have made contact with the inside wall, and that little piece that protrudes, as you said earlier.
As we get it going one more time. Cam Waters in behind. It's going to be challenging because the conditions are not great out there at the moment as tyres cooling down, and Mostert has pulled off the road. So that thing has officially carked it. And Waters pokes it up the inside straight away, grabs second spot. So he's come into this event today 5th in the championship. However, he's already got a locked position into our championship.
There's Robbo.
Yes, Robbo.
And how long, let's have a bet, how long, I'm saying, oh, my bet was, how long before he gets a beer? How long was that? I would have had a lot on it. That was Winks odds to get on that one then.
Standing ovation for Chaz Mostert drinking a beer at Bathurst.
Yeah, great effort.
Holdsworth has been a winner here. Waters has had a couple of runner-up positions. Brody's been a race winner. We've got trouble back in the pack here, unfortunately. What a shame for Cam McLeod. He's tangled down there at the moment, and it's car number 62, Nash Morris, who is making really solid ground. Okay. They're on a slick tyre, but they'll hang on as long as they can in these conditions. And the leader's up. Kostecki's gone off the road. This is going to gift the lead to Waters. Brody made a mistake. He did look like he was barely hanging on. He's gone from first to second to third, but he now argues the case down the inside and he reclaims second. But Ojeda wants to make a fight out of this. Brody hangs on. Now he's on the attack. Dives it up the inside and they make contact into turn 1. Waters and Kostecki have got a fight to the death going on with 96 to go.
And Jamie Whincup was completely out of control in the braking area. There's 6 cars within 3 or 4 car lengths. That was unbelievable. And Brody's now accelerating by him. He's got a little side draft. What happens in the braking area at turn 2? The inside run for Waters might be powerful here. He gets it. Brody's going to have to fall back in behind. Holdsworth now third.
Have a look at the slide for Waters. He went full sprint car spec through the right-hander at turn 2. Brody went from first to second to third, argued the case, got to second and is back in the battle for the lead. He's on the outside here of Waters. He's got better traction and he's grabbed the lead. Can you believe this, Australia? Kostecki is back in the lead. Waters is going punch for punch. Somebody's going to end up in a wall if they're not careful. Waters, Kostecki. How about Holdsworth in third? Ojeda, somewhat of a rookie in this caper, is in with the heavyweights.
Well, this makes absolutely no sense. At Triple Eight, they've rolled out the wets and they've rolled out the slicks, but now it looks like they're using the slick tyres to hold up the wets. It was a strange call. They changed their mind 3 times which tyres they're going to go to then.
It's so hard to read out there at the moment. We've been openly questioning the whole notion of the crossover. They're doing 29s or 30s. That's about the crossover time, Scott, for us to keep an eye on. And it's a penalty for car 4 for Cam McLeod, 15 seconds. The congestion in the pit lane is radical. The congestion on the racetrack is radical. Holdsworth leads from Whincup, from Ojeda. This has scrambled the strategy here as well.
But Pye, the reason they've come in with Pye was way back.
Yes.
He lost a huge amount of ground as soon as it got really slippery. So they didn't have an option with Pye, but they've obviously left Whincup there. Now, Holdsworth has been driving on alternate lines. He looks like he's still strong, but here comes Whincup in behind him. Young Jaden Ojeda's just back from one step, and then the experience, and off the road now. This is so bad as a consequence of what's gone on with these conditions. Nash Morris, who was crashed out, and the cutting is off now.
A cold, slippery slick will be hard work for the first couple of laps. It's going to depend on what's coming weather-wise.
They were roaded. They were roaded then. So the difference there with Holdsworth, they were brand new tyres that went on Holdsworth. They were roaded tyres for Whincup. That will make a difference in these conditions. So you don't want the slippery mould release to be on the tyre when you first drive out.
And it's going to have a lot to do with what might be coming, so they'll need to look with eagle eyes to the southwest, the west, and even the northwest of here to understand how to validate that gamble. And we've got trouble, unfortunately, for Winterbottom. He's off at Forest Elbow, and this is costly. Remember, they just come in. He was already down the bottom of the order in 22nd position. It's ingested a pile of dirt and junk in the front of it. Turning point.
You can cross me the quarter line, please.
And it's an animated Mark Winterbottom in the background talking to Sam Potter.
This is a game changer now.
The thing's damaged badly. What a shame. These guys were well and truly in this show this afternoon, and that's much heavier contact than I thought. It brings him into the lane again. Now, can they pluck the guard off it and get a tyre on it, or has it got something underlying in the suspension? Wow, look at what's going on the right-hand side of screen up the top of the hill. Seriously, and I need a swivel head to catch up. It is unbelievable looking in every direction round here at the moment to see what's happening in this motor race. Here we go, having a look down the inside. Didn't quite get there, but now he opens it up down the inside, and I don't think David's going to make a fight of this one, and that is a change for the lead.
So they're going to put a battery in. They might even have to put a second battery in later on in the day. Now, let's hope they can cover this off inside a fuel stop and a driver change. About 32 seconds going on here. So they're in there, undoing the clamp. It's awkward in there. There's very, very busy tubes. First bolt's undone. They're using a battery drill with a little ratchet on it. Oh, what an awkward situation. No, this is a little slower than they would have anticipated. Just a lot of drama getting in there and getting the bolts undone on the clamp, holding the battery down. Oh, wow, this ain't going to plan.
18.
And he's just drilled him. That's Brody straight into the back. Straight into the back of Kai Allen. So that's Brody just going out. That's basically his first proper lap in the rain. And he's locked the wheels and smashed into the back of the Penrite car. Oh, off the road almost. That was almost gone there for Will Brown. He understeered straight past the apex of turn 1, and he was right out to the outside of the road with lock on, and he just saved it on the island. And he's just trying to fight back here with Matt Payne, but they're costing each other time. In fact, will it be better off to let Matt Payne go here? He won't.
These guys look like they're going to get into a signage exchange here. They are battling for second and third in the championship, and there's only 30 points between them at the moment. They are locked into the finals, but these guys have been contenders throughout the year. There was a bit of talk early in the day about the possibility of conditions relaxing a little bit. That hasn't really happened as he runs wide down there. Second, and Feeney, this is a big battle here that's changing the top spots, and Golding moves it up into position number 2. We've got trouble here, unfortunately, for 88, so Feeney is in the wall at the elbow. Now, if this thing cannot be removed, this will trigger a safety car. What a disaster for the championship leader.
And that's a brand new tyre, Neil. That's the new tyre that didn't come in.
Well, and the same with his teammate. Everybody that ended up on a cold tyre has been really battling early on. It's just ploughed straight ahead. And here we go. There could be a move on the outside. Payne could be in this as well. Does he force the issue up the inside? He does. And he does. James Golding leads the Bathurst 1000.
That's a move.
That is a move.
Watch this, mate. We're on the outside.
Here comes Woody again on the outside. They're fully traction limited, and the beneficiary might be Payne when all this is going on. And in his corner is a 5-time winner in the background in Garth Tander. In the most treacherous of conditions at the moment. Does he get down the inside? No. That was so awkward. What a messy move there, unfortunately, for Will Brown. Heavy contact with Kai Allen, who's already been a punching bag today. The back of that car is heavily beat.
Yeah, he was nowhere near stopping. I think he's done damage to the front of Will Brown's car. Oh, and a serve up there. LeBrock's given Allen one. He's just been a punching bag today.
So what's gone on? Here's the replay. We'll understand what's happened here to Brown. He skated into turn 2 and did exactly what happened to Chaz earlier in the weekend, only didn't go in at such an acute angle. So this, just look at the calibre of the drivers making mistakes. The conditions out there at the moment are just appalling.
This could be a safety car because the rear wing is on the road down there. So if they put the safety car out, it's going to be unbelievably tight to get to the end.
We are racing again with 25 laps to go in the 25 edition of the Repco Bathurst 1000. They are race driving on a mirror, and Golding's gone wide. Golding's gone wide in the braking area, and that releases Ryan Wood. They skated into turn 1 on a mirror. There's no grip out there at the moment. But Wally Jones in the wall at the elbow. Does this trigger a safety car? And the wing is off the car, which means it'll have to be retrieved. What will they do about it? How do they manage it at race control? We've got 24 laps to go, and this race has gone berserk.
Can the recovery guys get that car out? He's up the road.
Safety car boards and flags. Safety car boards and flags.
That just happened. That happened before it. So he was already off the road. That'll mean Golding leads. There's something going on with this car. They're coming in. There's something going on with Ryan Wood's car.
Hit the start button. Ignition on, start button. Ignition on, start button.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh my God, this is a cruel game sometimes.
So
they have driven so well.
They're preparing inside the garage, so for whatever reason, Golding has continued behind the safety car.
We've got no for them here because we've power cycled. Is she going, mate? Is she going?
Oh, you can hear it's chugging.
Listen to it. Game over. Game over for Ryan Wood. He only just got through the other side. David Reynolds runs wide. He loses time. They are going to be too wide when they get to the end. Have a go at Cooper Murray. He's going to lead him by the time they get down into turn 1, but he's on the outside. Already they've swapped Payne. And Golding this time manages turn 1 and holds onto it out the other side. But Cooper Murray has lit the fuse on this thing, and it is blazing.
It's going to be wild up here. They will not be able to see anything over the rise. The car's burst into wheel spin at 240 kilometres an hour over the rise. Joe Stewart looking on with Benny Klomenko, but this is going to be epic. 21 laps remaining. Big slide there for Golding. Massive slide. And off Stanaway in the fence. Another safety car will come out now. There's 18 laps remaining. What else can happen in this race today? This is extraordinary.
Chased it, fed it second gear, and locked the rear, spat him into the wall, heartbreak, and that wall at the tyre power cutting has torn that thing apart. Murray's bolted down the road, and Golding's run wide here, and that's going to allow Payne up the inside. He could not stop it, and he's going to be vulnerable here, vulnerable to Heimgartner. And down the inside comes Payne again. They're side by side with a tiny bit of contact. This is going to be a drag race to the bottom. This might change the lead in the Repco Bathurst 1000. Payne has just barely got the nose in front. Who is going to be brave down here? And whether or not Golding can be a beneficiary. This is absolutely crazy. How about Golding? Golding needs to find some space. Side by side through the chase for the lead. Payne almost threw that thing away. Can they stop it? Will he stop it? No, he's off the road. Cooper Murray goes back to the lead. James Golding goes to second, and Matty Payne goes to third. That was unbelievable.
And here comes Golding. He's putting a move on. He's down the inside. He's giving him a hit. He's off the road. Matt Payne goes through. He'll have to redress. He'll have to redress now.
We have got 6,200 metres to go in what has been one of the all-time Bathurst 1000s.
But Reynolds is in now. Reynolds is in this battle.
Can David Reynolds pull off something truly extraordinary?
And now David has a look down the inside. He's got around the outside. He'll be on the inside of Matt Payne. He'll be on the inside. He had a run and he missed it.
Yeah, we saw it, mate. We saw it.
Emotion in the garages. Everything to play for. We are completely out of breath up here. Golding's got the lead. He's got 3/4 of a second. That's David Reynolds. He's third at the moment, but on correction, that turns into second. So Golding will cross the line first, but he's not going to win this motor race because of the penalty. And the victory for the 2025 Repco Bathurst 1000 belongs to Matt Payne and Garth Tander with David Reynolds and Lee Holmes for second. What an unbelievable outcome.
Not only do they win the great race, they'll take the Enduro Cup with it. Reynolds and Holdsworth threw everything at them and everything at the mountain. Spare a thought for James Golding, oh so close, but up on the podium. Payne and Tander, they're your champions for 2025.
Finals commence on the Gold Coast, and it's not a bad jump for Ryan Wood. It looked like it had a little bobble, but it's tractioned in nicely here. He's put power to the road, grabbed gears, and off he goes into the first chicane. Nice solid start for the Kiwi. He's got a couple of car lengths. Feeney drops in behind him, and here's where all the congestion unpacks and unfolds. Covers down the inside, does Wood. He's under threat here from Feeney, and in fact, I reckon Payne might have got up underneath Feeney. That'll be close.
What was it leaking? Fuel?
There was something.
It wasn't fuel, was it? But it was certainly something.
Yeah,
it was liquid.
Yeah, and he's reporting it on the radio. So there's something going on there with car 2. And all of a sudden, in a heartbeat, where there was a margin, there isn't. And there's something really happening here at the moment because Feeney's now threatening for the lead. There is an issue with car number 2. There was something that we saw from the rear of the car in the way of a fluid. He's gone back to second. Feeney now leads. So the truck assist car back into the pit lane as we stay with his teammate in position number 3 at the moment. He's only a second from the lead, Chaz Mostert. Fastest lap has been further improved by Brock Feeney. He's done a 1 minute 9.7.
Now this is going to be an issue with this cladding. There's some cladding that's come off the debris fencing.
Safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags.
So safety car boards and flags, and I think this is for the cladding, the signage that's come adrift.
And Waters potentially impacting Tom Randall here. That's awkward. Like, this is a big, big moment here for Mostert's getting held up big time. In goes Randall. So that's probably cost him. Oh, and now there's contact. So that would have cost Mostert 10 or 15 seconds. He's made contact with Payne. Payne's trying to thread his way back in front of Courtney. It's a schmozzle in the pit lane.
Oh, we've had a big shunt. Jackson Evans off the back of the beach chicane. And that's Cooper Murray there with him also. But there's Jackson Evans' car back there with wheels off that car. But now, was he getting around?
Car boards and flags, safety car scramble.
Same as Will Brown.
Yeah. And it's plucked the tyre off.
That's what it's done.
Plucked it. It's overloaded that because the pressures are down.
Yep.
After the safety car period.
It's plucked the wheel off on the other side too.
Yeah. And the violence, I mean, we step back in the commentary box as he goes down the inside now, Mostert, and gets it done on his mate Cam Waters. That gives him a little bit of fresh air to negotiate now. Both of them understand the pressure. They throw those supercars through there in heroic efforts to get up into the braking area 11, and he's done it. He plunges down the inside like he did to Waters, and that's a change for the lead. And Mostert has got the front of that thing flying through the air out the other side. Has a sniff up on the inside at 11. Pokes it up on the inside. Feeds it second gear. Stops, turns and leads. He had a beer at the end of Bathurst that didn't turn out well. He'll drink champagne tonight on the Gold Coast.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Mostert, Feeney, Allen. That's our podium this afternoon.
But Mostert is the man here today, punching his ticket through. You win, you're in, and he's off to Sandown. A flying performance today.
And Feeney's made a nice jump, and so has Thomas Randall. In fact, Thomas has got pace on him at the moment, and he's going to try and close down on him and steal a bit of air by the time they get down to 1, but he's pushed up high and wide, straight lines it, and so does his teammate Cam Waters. Feeney Feeney holds the line tight on the inside. Mostert's gone up into third position. Waters on the outside of him, and then it's Courtney. But Feeney pops out the other side, grabbing gears in the lead.
And when Randall's come into his box here, look how he goes a little bit long here, and they were slow to get the fuel hose on. I bet you they were aiming to Phil to come back out in front of Chas Mostert. They were so quick at Walkinshaws, they put the pressure on the teams.
You did it there, Australia's good.
Same sort of thing going.
You got still 10 more seconds. Are you happy with the GUI? Give us a thumbs, cool. Okay, make sure you got a gear, mate. Approximately 4 more seconds. We're standing by. You're going to be good to go. Standing by. Clear.
It doesn't instill confidence looking at them going on doing that, does it? Where the rattle gun's just sitting there slaving away, trying to get the thing nipped up, and when it's wobbling around. I think that's what you saw before that made you concerned with the sister car.
This is a good policy for WIU to respond. And we thought they were going to have almost exactly the same amount of fuel required. So the gap prior to the stop was 2.5 seconds. So we'll just see what this looks like when Chas gets back out. Remember, there will be a little bit of undercut benefit, so it might be closer to 3 seconds in reality. He's had a good run off there. Oh, and he's blocked him, and he's done a Scott McLaughlin on Frosty. He's arrived down the inside with the wheels locked. He's able to regain control of the car and get down there.
These guys, it's going to be... No, he hasn't. He moved it, but it hasn't got very far up the road. So does that trigger a safety car? Meantime, the battle between Mostert and Feeney is lit up properly here at the moment as they negotiate the yellow flag area.
Safety car boards and flags.
There is a safety car. This will bunch the field up.
This is on at the front of the field, and a big dive by Feeney. This is a massive moment.
He rescued it. He rescued it. He threw everything at it, Brock Feeney, but he almost threw away either the lead or second place, because now Heimgartner is well and truly in this, and so is Payne, and so is Waters. This guy sticks together a double. Chas Mostert has done a mighty job on the goal today. What a performance for him. Grabs the checkered flag at 150 points and stamps his name on a place well and truly in the semi-finals.
But it's Chas Mostert who has more than punched his ticket to Sandown. He double-clicked it on the way through. It is Chas Mostert who's done the job here on the Gold Coast.
And it's a drag race between the teammates. And Mozzie's got the nose in front as he pulls second gear. Runs down towards turn 1. It's an awkward run into turn 1. It's bumpy and it's tight on the inside and it narrows up. But Mostert's got the lead. Di Pasquale's been displaced. He's dropped a little bit of ground and Kostecki's moved it up into third position. And it just sneezed a little bit as they dropped it on the road and he launched. So Murray's in together with Davison in the background here as well.
As the undercut, his teammate's going to go by him.
Yeah, got him. Yep.
He's down the inside now.
I think he's going to sneak down the inside at turn 1, and he does.
Easy.
Because I've been watching sector splits for Brock, who's been gaining in the first and third sectors on the racetrack, not so much up the back chute, but he's now well and truly in contention here to throw a punch. Has a look down the inside and makes an effective move up into position number 3. And the way that the body language is being suggested here by Will Brown, he'll be impatient and he'll show the nose at the other end here. His pace off that final corner has been very strong. And at the rate of gain, and he's just made a very nice move down the inside. He stood it on its nose. There was no resistance whatsoever from his teammate. Remember, they touched here last year.
Yep. He's a problem for Will Brown. He's been warned about it there on the Race Management Channel. The officials have said you've used all your lives up. He's almost alongside the way into 2. He can't get around there. But I reckon there's a dive down the inside here that's on.
There could be one here.
This is the one.
On the run to turn 4 and there's side-to-side contact and it's on. It's on the run out of turn 4.
Got it.
And Brown gets up one spot after a real tough run.
Mostert has put together the numbers today, and a brilliant victory at Sandown Raceway.
And this is how it washed out. An exciting finish. Mostert, Brown and Wood, the top three. Can Chaz Mostert continue on his way? Does he owe his teammate one? Cannot wait for tomorrow.
Wet always equals wild in supercars, so who makes it to the grand final as we get going in the last of our semis at Sandown? It is a great jump off the start by Feeney, down the inside, protecting the line from Di Pasquale on the outside. Dives, supercars transiting down there, and he's gone down the inside, Di Pasquale, and he's made good.
This is horrific. So you've got to get rid of this car.
They've got to get it out of the way, Garth.
Guys, there's a heap of wheel nut that's stuck on the thread, so it doesn't matter. They can keep throwing wheels on it. The problem's on the spindle. So now as they pull it back off again, you can see there's a heap of aluminium. So this is the third wheel they've thrown at it.
Oh, they've had to leave him out.
So now Mostert has to stay out.
Yeah.
So Mostert serviced out, but this is going to be huge because straight past him goes Di Pasquale. So Mostert has lost a huge amount of ground here. Will Brown in. So there's Anton, there's Feeney, and Golding is essentially up to third spot when he rounds up
and he's
Mostert.
He's going to get him. So it was critical to see the rejoin there. And he runs wide, Di Pasquale. He might even surrender the lead with the thing having a gigantic tail wag on the exit, and he has. And he goes for the dive up the inside at turn 4 and does barrel down the inside, and has got pretty decent traction coming off the other side of that turn and grabs a spot in the process to third. And they're going to race hard here on a cold tyre. On a warm tyre, however, is Mostert, and he blows by down the inside. Whack. So that's the reverse of what we saw a bit earlier. So Feeney is now in, and we'll watch for that join. And these guys have got to get a fair giddy up going on a cold tyre. And if you step off the line here, it could be dicey. And it's so dicey that there's contact down there. And that's a very awkward moment.
Has Mostert spun? Something must have happened because he took 15 seconds. He took 15 seconds. He just got caught there. And he had to rotate, and he's actually hit the tyres quite hard in the end.
And here comes Will down the inside. Strong traction out of that final corner. Grabs a gear, gets some side draft benefit, and away he goes. The top 4 going to Adelaide. And there's the dive down the inside. And that was a nice, tough move there by Payne. And in fact, he's run wide. Both of them dived in there so late. There's no space between them on the run towards turn 2. They are playing for keeps here. And it's a fired-up Waters who wants to make a fight out of this one and has another dive down the inside at 4 and sends Matty Payne wide towards the fence. And this is going to tip the whole order upside down. Kostecki gets past. Steering damage, I think,
Copy that.
to Waters. Mostert goes by. So is that car misbehaving now?
Right rear's flat. Right rear's flat for Waters.
And Matt Payne, frustrated, disappointed. That's a difficult afternoon for him. Brock Feeney makes an assertive statement in the final semi-final run here at Sandown this weekend.
Brock Feeney back in form right when it matters, and he will go through with the #1 seeding to the grand final. Anton back on the podium here. Brock Feeney, he's headed as the #1 seed to Adelaide.
The BP Adelaide Grand Final gets underway in the first of 3 instalments, and it's an awesome drag race to turn 1 between the championship combatants who are rubbing on each other into one, and Feeney side by side with Mostert, who motocrosses his way across the top of the curbs. He's trying to stay down the inside for turn 4. They've got absolutely no grip under them, and they're racing for sheep stations at turn 4.
Mostert now. Mostert's going to try to put a move on it, and he does. He does. He gets down there, but he's done the crisscross.
He locked up, and he sacrificed a bit of space, and he lost the lead straight away. He's off. He's off. He's run wide in the braking area at turn 4, Feeney, and that is a costly mistake. how hard does Chaz bother racing Brodie? Because he's coming at a great rate of knots here at the moment, and he's not a championship contender. The question resolves before they even get to turn 8 because Brodie's going to fly down the inside.
And he dives straight down. Finney had no way. He was not going to play that game.
Oh, trouble for Randall. He's made heavy contact somewhere.
Yeah, that's turn 8. This is the understeer. That's hit hard. That's hit really hard.
Check the wall out. So the wall's gone back half a metre there. So he was miles out of the groove. It never looked like turning down there.
Race control attention all teams. Red flag, race is suspended, Race control attention all teams. Race 32 will not be resuming. Race 32 will not be resuming due to damage of the wall at turn 8.
There you go. Yeah. So we didn't even end up at 0 on the clock there. So unfortunately, something of an anticlimax at the end of that one. But what a way to celebrate his 3rd victory of 2025 for Brodie Kostecki.
It's Brodie Kostecki cashing in for $50,000 here. An amazing result to finish off the season for him with 2 more to play this weekend. Well done. $50,000 richer thanks to Mega Awards.
As we get underway for our penultimate race in Adelaide, and Feeney makes a great start down to the apex of 1. Cameron, though, really putting up an argument on the outside, and there's a bit of chaos in the background. Aaron Cameron could have the line when they get down to the apex of turn 1. What about Woody up the inside here, challenging as well? Unbelievably tight at turn 4 as Aaron Cameron does a sprint car exiting 2nd gear, and he leads the race on the run to turn 5. What a story.
And what about Ryan Wood? He's parked pretty wide now at turn 6, and he's caught up now with Anton Di Pasquale. He hasn't blocked this time. Ryan Wood through, and he absolutely, no problem, didn't fight back.
Oh my goodness, in the grass and in the wall goes Mostert after contact with Randall in a straight line. That's making me sweat. Let's have a look at what happened to Aaron Cameron. Oh, big time sideways out of 3. And this is nip and tuck through the left-hander at 5. Mostert, Payne, done.
This is post the first one we saw. So that has knocked that thing around.
More contact. So right rear for Mostert with Cindric at turn 5. So how's all the different barge that's been going on out there with Mostert today?
So they go to work. They've got about 20 seconds worth of fuel. They've got tape laid out, so they're going to try and tape this front splitter. But the mounting for me is not real structural. They've got to put 1 bit of tape on it. But to me, if you look at the bottom on the Morris signature or signage, that's where the splitter has come apart.
Fire down there. No, he's been blocked. No, he's come from outside. He's done a magnificent job of going from right out the back to running in wide and has got through.
Here comes the lunge down the inside. This is going to be awkward. Will saw him, tried to cover, nothing he could do about it. Mostert up a spot. And that brings Di Pasquale into the party. Oh, and it's on again at the right-hander at turn 5 and contact again as they fight. And Di Pasquale climbs over the top of Allen. There's damage on Brown's car. And down to the checkered flag after a masterful performance is Brock Feeney, who's got one hand on the trophy based on today's fine performance. And here's the switch around. Ryan Wood makes space for Chaz Mostert. They call it max fuel save. We know what it is, and that gives Mozzie the opportunity to come up here, stay in 2nd position on the racetrack today.
And it's Brock Feeney who wins by a comfortable 17 seconds in the end, but with so many different things playing out at once in race 33. 23 points to the gap. Rain due tomorrow. Bring it on.
As the lights change for the BP Adelaide Grand Final. And it's a great start by Matt Payne, who grabs 2nd gear, roars into the 1st quarter. Ryan Wood is up on the outside of Feeney here as well. And all of them go supercrossing through the 1st chicane. and out the other side comes Payne. He's got some margin. Wood is hunting down the inside. He tried to force the issue. He couldn't do it. They were nose to tail with Feeney on the run now to 5. And now we ride with Mostert position 4. Cold tyres, second gear out of control. Woody up the inside. There's contact, and around he goes. Feeney's pointing in the wrong direction. Oh, in fact, Wood actually bumped the wall on the right-hander at 6.
Ryan Walkinshaw, Jamie said it was grubby stuff. Your view on that?
I think he should be talking to his driver. He very clearly had Woody alongside him and he pushed him in the wall. You can actually see Woody hit the wall and then go into Brock. So Brock's fighting for a championship. Woody's got nothing to lose. He was down the side of him. Brock tried to squeeze him into a wall and Woody can't exactly just disappear. So entirely Brock's fault, and that's pretty clear and evident from what we could just see on TV.
Heavy contact on the left front of Woody's car. Any damage reported as yet?
Not so far.
Chaz offers up the nose of the Mustang at 9. And that's a pass for position number 3 for Chaz Mostert.
He's got a bit of pace this time, having a look.
And that brings Brock Feeney up into position number 10, that move down there at turn 9. And
6, there's a problem on the right rear here. Look at this. Won't go on, the nut won't. Another nut, the nut is embedded in the wheel. So that's a different, that won't be the tyre that they wanted to put on.
Clear.
That's cost them dearly, but they did get some extra fuel in.
Gotcha. So you can see him sizing him up off turn 7, and that was a nice move.
Yeah, got to miss this.
Bad, really bad.
Cutting out.
What you're doing, we just need to keep it clean here, so we need to pass people as soon as we get to them.
It's hard.
Let's keep listening.
I can do that, mate. We can't do anything else.
What a disastrous afternoon. Now, is that a result of the contact?
I think the brakes broken.
It may.
It was down the right side. Remember, he did the wall of death on the run to turn 6.
Yeah, it could be. It could have fatigued something as a consequence of that contact early.
Put a stress crack in something. Brock Feeney is going to be devastated by this outcome. To have worked so long and so hard, to have achieved so much through the championship year, he's done a spectacular job, but it's not going to go his way at the end of it. And he has just watched Mostert round him up, and he knows the implications of that. But meantime, at the front of this field, after a superlative drive like he did 2 years ago, Matt Payne gets maximum points and victory on the streets of Adelaide. In the background, however, Chaz Mostert is the 2025 Supercars champion.
Matthew Payne, amongst all of this, has won himself a motor race. And I guess, in a way, the Adelaide 500 too, to go with it. Speaking of the big trophies that he's collected so far this year, Chaz Mostert, second enough. Will Brown came home with a wet sail. Well done to Chaz Mostert, who achieved a dream here today, being crowned the champion.